Welcome back. I'm Captain Xavier. And, Q&A. Fanmail. Lovely. I have gummies. I have soda. And I have a bunch of questions. Yum. Tastes like blue. Right. Starting off, it's rough out there right now. The world is coming apart at the seams, it seems. Too many seams. This is why English is a horrible language. Be nice to each other, please. Slow down, calm down. There are things to be agitated about, but make sure you're agitated at the right people for the right reasons. Please don't take it to the auxiliary Facebook page and the auxiliary Discord. These are your comrades. These are people who are on your side, or should be. Help each other. Don't hurt each other as much as you can. This is going to be rough. Hopefully we'll all make it through. I mean, we're not all going to make it through, but yeah. Many of you may have noticed that I haven't done any serious build videos in a while. It has been noted. I had great plans for this year. There was so much going to be going on. I was going to be traveling the world. I was going to be doing all this stuff. I had all these builds planned for all these things I was going to be going to, and then they all got cancelled. And it kind of sapped my motivation to do those builds. I still want to do those builds. I have much of the material and all of the plans, and but I've kind of lost my motivation just because of everything that's going on, and so I've instead been focusing on my Lego room, which finally got built, and now I'm processing Dr. Flux's collection and some previous collections and sorting my collection, and so that's where a lot of my time has been going. I haven't filmed as much of it as I kind of wish I had, but I'm going to start fixing that. I've been doing more Lego by the book, and I've just been doing that as a chance to ramble and blow off steam, so rather than filming it all and then fast forwarding it, I actually talk through the whole video. Talk about the video, talk about the build, about what was going on at the time, about, history of how I got the set, and just rambling. And people seem to be enjoying it, so I'm going to keep doing that. A couple of people have asked me, in fact there's a question in here about that, so I think I'll save that for later. But yeah, their build videos will return when I start actually nerfing again and have the motivation to actually seriously build stuff. I will get into that. I do have a few new things that need to go up on the collection, and I've been taking stuff down to use in range day videos and then just not getting them back up. So it's getting messy here in my shop again, and I don't like it. But the gnome is coming to visit towards the end of the month, so I will have to get everything cleaned again, just because that's how it works. You have to clean your place when your mother comes to visit. She may end up in videos. You may get to see the gnome and understand slightly why I am the way that I am. Maybe. We'll see. I make no promises. It'll be entirely up to her whether she wants to be on YouTube or not. She may not want to. Alright. Questions. There's a fly in here. Questions for him. Halt Striker. Have you seen how Adam Savage sorts his Lego? Yes, I did see that video. Frankly, I wasn't impressed. Could you do a comparison of the ways to sort and what ways work best for certain types? Yeah, actually I do plan, like I said, I've been redoing a lot of the organization in my Lego room. The fact that I've gotten so much more new Lego, especially all of Dr. Flux's stuff, that I had to expand a lot of my collection, or a lot of my organization for how I did my collections. Several of the colors, I got so many of them that I had to start subdividing further down. And I've seen some videos of how some of the really big YouTube channels for Lego, the big fancy ones with a lot more space than I have, how they sort. And since a lot of them do like the hyper-realistic stuff, the city and the trains and all of that, where there's incredible amounts of very fine detail, they sort differently than I sort because they need different parts than I need. The way I've done my castle is very simple. It's early 90s, late 80s, early 90s style, really. It's not the hyper-realistic. And so I've sorted my stuff differently than a lot of people, the really fancy builders sort theirs. if I had more room, I would probably I definitely would subdivide further. And if I had more drawers of the right size, there's a good chance that I would subdivide even further, just to make it easier to find certain parts. Because I do still have to spend a lot of time digging through bins. Some of the bins are granular enough that it's very easy to find a specific part. Like, I've got one where it's any of the narrow plates, the 1 by whatever plates, they're all in one, and then the 2 by whatever plates, they're in a bin, and then anything bigger than that are in a bin. And so finding plates is very easy because there isn't that much variety in those drawers. Same with bricks. I have 1 by whatever bricks and 2 by whatever bricks into 2 different drawers, and so that makes it very easy to find just a specific sized brick. But when you get into the modified plates and the modified bricks, where there are thousands of different shapes, that's where I end up having to still dig through drawers full. And part of that I actually enjoy, because that's just, my youth of how it was always digging through bins looking for parts. And it's, very therapeutic and nostalgic to me. But it does take a lot of time. And if those drawers were a little further subdivided, and I do now have angled plates are in their own drawer, and like arches and Technic beams and angled modified bricks are in one drawer. But that still means that there are thousands, potentially, of different shapes in those other 2 drawers, and there are better ways to do it. And I'll end up doing a video on how I've done mine, and how I've expanded it, and what I'd like to do. And because I'm finally getting my legroom actually properly set up, and getting stuff that used to be just in drawers either broken down for parts or on display, I'm finding I actually have a lot more room than I thought I did, and I might end up expanding some of my collection, my storage. I'll definitely be expanding my storage to allow for a little more granularity. So stay tuned for that. Andrew Eva. I don't think they've ever commented before, at least they've never made it to the questions. Do you like revolvers or modern type pistols better for Nerf? I don't favor one over the other. They both have their own pros and cons, and it kind of depends on the situation. For HVZ, I generally prefer revolvers, especially the hammer shot, because it's very mechanically simple. It's unlikely to have a mechanical failure. And that's very important in HVZ, because you only get to have the one mechanical failure, and then you end up getting tagged because your gun jammed or you misfired, and then you're out. In a Nerf war, you can get away with more finicky equipment, because generally you get tagged, you go resurrect, you come back in, or you wait till the next round and you're back in again. Things like a 5v5 competitive, you're again going to want really reliable equipment, but then you're generally looking at the really high-end equipment. Whereas for like your pistols, for your sidearms, having something like a hammer shot, which is, like I said, very mechanically simple and reliable, over say a Desert Pigeon, which has it's magazine fed, so it's easy to reload. It's got a higher capacity. It's semi-automatic, so it's got its own pros, but it's then much more complicated. There's a lot higher probability of having a jam or something going wrong, and if it does it at exactly the wrong time in an HVZ, you're tagged and you're done. Whereas in a Nerf war, you figure out what's jammed while you're on your way to resurrect. Not really a problem. On your way to the respawn point, you can, bad dart or whatever. Swap out for different equipment and go back in. So it depends on what you're doing. Feranki Turco. It's also a new one as far as I know. How would you go about putting a foregrip on an Alpha Trooper? Well, I've seen a number of ways where people have just bolted or epoxied a Big Shock or a Triad or something on to not only give you a foregrip, but also have it a foregrip that fires, basically creating sort of a master key. And that works very well. There are actually also replacement front grips, 3D printed ones. I'm pretty sure 3D printed Solid has one, Worker probably has one at this point, that have Picatinny rail. So you can then put on whatever foregrip you want, which would be the most modular way. Easiest way is, some metal bands and a bit of wood. There's lots of ways you could do it. But replacement foregrip would probably, or pump grip area would probably be the most versatile. Would be probably the most solid. Not necessarily the easiest or the cheapest, but probably would be the way that I would go about it. Redstone Fox, another new one. What is your favorite Iyer cylinder? Ooh, that is a good question. It's probably a toss-up between the hammer shot one, the 5-shot. I like that because the Titan can fire 5 rounds at a good distance and a good grouping. It's very functional. Or the Demolisher rocket one, because it can fire both Demolisher rockets or a single dart. And while a singled Titan is a little bit hairy, it's such a short barrel that it really doesn't get as much FPS as you'd think. And as long as you're not engaging at point blank range, it's not too bad. So those are probably my 2 favorites. Ansatsu48. Dear Captain Xavier, who has a better Widow's Peak? You or Vegeta? Someone else actually made this comment. Yeah, I do have a very pronounced Widow's Peak, and I always have. It isn't something that my hairline is definitely, it's gotten worse. But I've always had a very pronounced Widow's Peak. It used to have more of a 2-tier effect, but I've kind of lost that. And when my hair gets long, it kind of looks like I'm trying to do a comb over. Like, no, I don't have a high Widow's Peak. No, I do, and I know I do, which is why I generally keep my hair short. But my barbershop is closed because of the plague. As well they should be. But I would go with Vegeta because the Saiyan hair where it sticks straight out back actually works with his Widow Peak, whereas I couldn't do that. The amount of product that would require me to have my hair up like that all the time would just be absurd. So I'm going to have to give it to Vegeta. I'm putting my do-rag back on because it keeps the sweat out of my eyes. It's warm here. Isaac Katz. Would you master key a Magnus on a Magnus because it would be silly? Well, I wouldn't, but that would be very silly. And it's got the rail. I think it would get in its own way. You'd need... Yeah, there might be enough. Maybe. I'd love to see it done. That would be hilarious. Savage Yeti. Nothing but a lot of new names. I like that. Would you like a gutted battle scout for your personal projects that will have all of the springs, all of the screws, but not the modular parts? Not really. I'm pretty sure I have a gutted battle scout up in my shelled bin already, and I have no idea what I'll ever use it for. So I would keep it for yourself so that you have the replacement screws and the replacement springs and posts and shell and all of that. Samson7180. Have you seen the last 4 episodes of Season 7 of The Clone Wars? I have not. I have not yet watched Season 7. I think I saw all the way up to the ends of Season 6. I think. I still haven't even kind of started Rebels, or I think, is Resistance a thing now? I've got some of the Lego sets, but I haven't seen them. I want to. I will. The time will come. Burrito Riot. Would you ever use combat shorts? No. Starfall Galaxy. What is your dream Lego set? Ooh. That is a... I'm not sure if you're going, what set that actually exists do I desperately want but don't have? Or if you're asking, what if I could design any set, what would it be? For sets that I don't have, that list is getting shorter and shorter. I mean, the vast majority of the sets that I really wanted as a kid, the various pirate ships and castles, I have them all now. And it's amazing. Even some of the most of the space stuff that I always wanted and didn't have, I now have. I now have all of the pirate ships. Duplicates of many of them even. It's fantastic. There are some of the big UCS ones. Like, I'd love the new Star Destroyer. I think I have the first generation UCS Star Destroyer, but the new one's so much better looking. I would definitely like that one. I do have the UCS Millennium Falcon that we're going to be building once the plague ends. One that I would like to see, and it kind of exists. It's not an official Lego set, but it is now possible to get it through various contraband options. And that is a UCS AT-AT. If Lego ever came out with one of those, then they would finally get the $800 or whatever those big sets go for, because that I desperately want. And somebody designed one, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and absolutely so much detail, and it's beautiful. And they have released the instructions, or you can buy the instructions, and then you could part it out from Bricklink if you really wanted it. But I think like Lepin now sells it as a set, which is definitely not okay. That's counterfeiting, and they probably didn't pay for the licensing for this for any of it because it's Lepin. But I gotta admit, I'm sure tempted, because it's like $150 or $200 for it, and it's so beautiful. But the part quality on Lepin is. But I am definitely tempted to get the instructions at least for that one, and try building it. And then my ultimate goal that I've been working on since high school is to actually make it walk. I made one using pneumatics, an AT-AT using pneumatics, that it wasn't actually capable of supporting its own weight and properly walking, but if it was supported, if you had supports underneath it, the leg movement all worked using pneumatics. And I'd like to try redoing it using linear actuators, because I think they might actually have the power to actually make it work, which would be pretty darn cool. The issue I ran into was trying to automate it. I had it where it just had 4 levers, and you just flip the switches manually, and it would, and the legs would work. And I was always trying to figure out how would you motorize it so it walked on its own. And people have built, I mean, the Lego one, the one that Lego came out with was no good, because it moved 2 legs and then 2 legs and then 2 legs, and that's not how an AT-AT actually walks. But people have built small models that did 1 leg, next leg, next leg, next leg. So it is possible to do it mechanically. I just need to see what the internal gearbox on that looked like and then scale it up. I don't know if it would ever be able to support its own weight. You'd probably have to have, a rope suspending it or something so that it didn't fall over. But that's a goal for mine, is a proper motorized UCS AT-AT. Aha! Ha! Direct hit! Nightwing's Nerf Works. Where can I buy your stickers? Stickers? I don't have stickers. I've got patches. You can get the patches from foamblastshop.com. They sell my patches and the pins, but I've never had stickers made. I should get stickers made. I can dole them out at events. X-strikes and auxiliary logos. Yeah. Second question, do you prefer Retaliate or Prophecy CETA platform or the Alpha Trooper platform for Superstock mods? Probably the Retaliate or Prophecy CETA, mostly because, one, there's a lot more for them. There's all kinds of kits for them, pump grip kits and internal upgrade kits and sealed breaches and omni breaches and all of that. There's less for the Alpha Trooper. There obviously are kits for the Alpha Trooper, but not nearly as many or as much variety as exist for the Retaliators. The Alpha Trooper kind of has a semi-hard limit on how much power you can put into it because of the way the priming mechanism is set up. It's not as solid as 2 priming bars coming from a grip that forces the bolt sled back. And as a result, if you try to push it too far, that mechanism will bend or break or whatnot. So there's kind of a limit. Superstock, even towards the upper end of Superstock, Alpha Troopers, I think, generally start running into issues. Whereas your Prophecy, CETA, Retaliators don't have that. And you can still get the pump grip thing for that. So that's one of the big advantages of the Alpha Trooper, and why I think it's such a great HVZ blaster, is its pump grip and magazine fed and all of that. The other advantage that the Alpha Trooper has, that those ones generally don't, is slam fire. But that's another one of the things that is a limiting factor. The slam fire mechanism is a little bit more finicky and tends to start having malfunctions when you start to try to mod towards the upper tiers. There are slam fire kits, at least for the Retaliator, I believe, on Thingiverse. I don't know if anyone has produced one for officially for commercial use, but it is possible, but yeah, kind of depends on what you're going to be doing with it again. So, yeah. Dragon Blaster 10,000. Approximately when did you lose your last marble? I believe it was April 13th, 2014? Give or take? Might have been 2012 or 13. I don't remember now. It was a traumatic event. Unfortunate stuff went down. And that kind of pushed me over the edge to where I am today, which in many ways I'm very happy and it's very cool. I've got all of this. I've got fans. I get to travel and I've got a huge, my own house and my own Lego room and my own property and it's lovely. But there are some downsides, but that was kind of a, once again, choice I made. Had to decide where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to focus on, and I made my choices and I stand by them, and I'm enjoying it. But there are some things I miss. There are some things I really, really miss about my life before then, and someday I may get those back. But some I think I'm better off without. So yeah. I know that was meant as a lighthearted question, and you got a serious answer, but that's what you get. That's what you get. Joey Crowell. What is your favorite Nerf strife? The orange one. Ethan Baird. Captain, you do realize that people are going to start sending you a crisp $1 bill in the mail now. I hope so. Obviously, that was a joke. The joke, for those of you who missed it, is the last Q&A. Somebody asked, how do I ask a question in the Q&A? And by asking it the way you're supposed to ask it. And as a joke, I said, you write your question on a crisp $1 bill and mail it to me. Mailing address is in the link below. So it would, yes, be absolutely hilarious if people actually started writing their questions on $1 bills and mailing them to my P.O. box. That would indeed be absolutely hilarious. And I would be forced to keep the $1 bills and put them on display somewhere rather than ever spend them. Do feel free. If you do so, that question... well, unless it's a very inappropriate question, that question will get asked. And it will be hilarious, and people will get a chuckle, and I will get $1. Elias Sperlin. Have I got... there's been like 2 of these names I've recognized. I love it. So many new names. Have you ever tried the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar? Not the Star Wars one, no. I have a friend who had it last year. And the year before that, I had the Castle one, but I haven't had the Star Wars one. I opened it all on my Instagram through the Advent season as I opened it. It was really, really cool because it was... the Castle one was a fabulous one. So many good little sets and minifigures and equipment and stuff. So many spare parts, too. Like, so many extra weapons and armor and stuff. It was really, really cool. JDM Nerf Films. What is your favorite Rival Blaster? Well, tier, obviously. For custom ones that I've done. For stock, the Prometheus, just because it's the big, beefy minigun-looking thing, and I like big, beefy minigun-looking things. Doesn't have the rotating barrels, but you know what I mean. The way you carry it. I like it. High capacity. Good stuff. Jared Chapman. Do you think you have too many horses? Oh, Lego horses. If you want a Lego Bullseye from Toy Story, I could trade you one of those for one of those black horses with a saddle. You know, I would take you up on that. I have a drawer full of black horses. I've got the old style, the new style. There's probably an intermediate style. I have lots of saddles. So yeah, email me the Nerf email address, and we can talk. We can talk horse trading. Nathaniel Fowler. Have you ever thought about making a flywheel master key for Rival with a back burner for Iyer? Back burner. I think you mean afterburner. And no. And at the same time, yes. No details for you. Are you interested in Jolt King 627. Are you interested in doing a Lego train setup in the future? No. Well, it's not in the Lego room. I was never a big train guy. Monorail I enjoyed, but not train. The only thing I ever did with train once I ended up getting train from someone else's collection was I built a train with a Santa Claus and his reindeer to go around the Christmas tree. I did the same thing with the monorail, actually, and the monorail honestly kind of worked better because of the size and all of that. And I will probably do that again in the future once I actually get my living room built. It's still in a disastrous state of in the middle of moving. Well, not really moving in at this point. It's just remodeling. And then yeah, when I have my own Christmas tree, I'll probably bring out my Lego train and build a track and have it drive around the Christmas tree. And finally, Nathan Talesian, have you listened to Caro Emerald? Oh yes, and it's fantastic. What is your current status of your supply of Beatus fuel? Well, as you can see, I'm doing quite well. I'm never going to run out because every time I start getting low, I get sent more. I think I still have a huge box of like 20 pounds of gummy bears around here somewhere. I probably have at least 10 pounds of Skittles. If people would like to send me more of those gummy frogs, I love those. The texture is perfect, the flavor is good, and I have not been able to find them in any of the stores locally. So, I mean, I could get them on the internet, but that's cheating. Of course, then I get it sent to me from you guys. That's not cheating. That's strategy. And finally, if you were to yeet Mowgli at someone in an HVZ game, would he count as a stealth projectile? I have genuinely seen him yeet himself, and they definitely didn't see him coming. So if you could figure out how to yeet him, yes. Problem is, to properly yeet someone, you must yell yeet, which kind of ruins the stealth. Of course, if you got him going high enough and you yelled yeet and they looked at you, they might not see him coming in. It's all about the trajectory. Anyway. Aha! 2 direct hits! Fabulous! Alright. Now for the loot. The first one is up in the Lego room, because the McPhersons sent me another package because they are awesome. Speaking of which, I need to actually bring that up. We are working on the final details for the mini crew project. We're making she's making a few more crew, because more crew wanted to get in on it. We've worked out a Google form so that you can apply to be part of that whole system, get it sent to you. She's made little cards, which you'll see later in the video, of the instructions on what to do so that we can send them places, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. People will be able to do little vignettes and little videos, or just, you know, hang out with Captain and crew for a day and do mundane things, and it would just be hilarious. And then it'll all get compiled, and it'll be a lot of fun. So we are going to get that set up hopefully soon. We will get that all finalized. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's go to that. Actually, let's go to the Lego room. Right, obviously, as you can see, I'm up in my Lego room. I'm opening a package from the McPherson family because I want to. I don't actually have any particular reason to believe that there's Lego in here, but there could be, and so I'm hedging my bets and opening it up here. So here we go. Oh. What? Oh, okay, those are cool. Oh, that is cool. Oh, there's some cool stuff in here. Greetings, Captain. I hope this letter finds you well and in good spirits. Enclosed, you will find the red epaulets for the Caribbean Clipper. So there is some Lego. Haha. By the book video was amazing. A few things for the little cap project. That was all that was supposed to be in here, but my family, being the crazy awesome people that they are, would not allow that to stand. So there are a couple, of course, a few of your favorite snacks enclosed. Gummy grapefruit. Ooh, I do like grapefruit. I noticed that I had an extra zombie fig. Since every zombie horde needs a leader, I sent one along. My daughter wanted to be in on the fun, and since she is not a nerfer and is more into art, she made you something as well. Enjoy the loot. I'm looking forward to seeing all the fun that people are going to have with Little Cap and crew in the coming months. Bangarang, Alex McPherson. P.S. As I was sealing this package, I noticed a penal colony reprobate sneaking into the box. He claims to know you and that you would be glad to see him. I leave it to you to decide his fate. Therefore, he should be. Therefore, he has been detained in bubble wrap. What? Okay. So here's the little cat project. So when those start getting sent out, it'll have the instructions for what you should do with them. There's an email address for you to send stuff to. There's a Gmail document for what to do, where you should send photos and videos, all of that stuff. So yeah, those will be getting added into that. There's a mini Judd. Well, I obviously can't send this one to Australia. That would just be too obvious. Maybe I'll send Judd to Europe. Who knows? We shall find something to do with mini Judd. Maybe I shall just start using him here. What else do we have? Oh, there's the epaulets. And we have, what is this? What am do? What? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh! I had it upside down. That is really cool. Trees, moon, shooting star, my logo, that is really, really cool. I like it. Oh, fingerprints. I can find out who you are. I have all the evidence I need to solve this crime. I like it. I actually have trees that vaguely color like that in the spring. Yeah, that is really, really cool. That is going on a wall somewhere. I need to get my nerd cave properly built. Alright. The red epaulets. And auxiliary MRE. Contents, beverage, fruit, serving, snack, religious item, happiness. Well, I don't know what's going on here, but I love all of it. Aha, we'll go from this side. Perfect. Aha! I found the thing. Meow. What? We have... Oh, yes. Lemon high chews. I think. Which are delicious. Delicious. We have a bottle of Sprecher! Oh, most excellent! Yes. We have... Oh! Twix! For religious reasons. A left Twix as well. We have... Oh, Gummy. Those... I have never had these. I'm gonna have one. Must give it to me. Oh. Oh, yes. Those are absolutely delightful. Tastes like squirt soda, which I do enjoy. And I do like. Well, that's just cool. Alright, what do we got? We got Lego. What? I have found the happiness. We have a pirate zombie, I believe. Oh, Iyer. All of the Iyers in all of the land. That is fantastic. I will definitely have to find some use for that. That is really cool. Yes. What do we have here? We appear to have Sir Batman. Appears to be an armored knight-looking Batman. Get his belt on there correctly. Huh. Yep. Yep. Big old, oh, I forgot his armor. Where does it go? I believe it goes that way. Maybe? Nope. I think I had it right the first time. There we go. I had a Batman unicorn. I didn't know there was an armored Batman. That is too cool. Way too cool. I like the sword. Alright. What do we have here? It appears to be a pirate Batman? A ninja Batman? I'm not sure. I am not sure. I think it's a pirate Batman. I think those are supposed to be a sash and boots and a bandolier. He comes with a pirate sword and a flail. That is an odd combination. But I dig it. Very cool. My superhero collection grows. Jane? And then we have whatever this is. I do not believe, I am fairly certain I did not have this one. I definitely did not have this one. Appears to be some sort of an armored sun god, warrior, Apollo looking raw kind of thing. I dig it. That is really, really cool looking. It will go excellently in my Greek hero collection. Very, very cool. Alright, and we have Set 30497 First Order Heavy Assault Walker. A little chibi version. Very cool. I'ma build it. I'ma build it. And there it is. The Heavy Assault Walker? Is that what they're calling it? Heavy Assault Walker. Yep. Yep. I just felt they had a gait that looked less like elephants like the original ones did and more like, kind of like gorillas, if anything. With the huge hunched front feet the way they are. But, yeah. Plethora of spare parts. The usual ones, that one's not such a usual one to get a spare part of, so that's pretty cool. Going to have myself a lemon high chew because they are delicious and they make me happy. Well, as always, the McPhersons have outdone themselves. It's an absolutely fantastic package. So much good stuff. Getting more Sprecher. I need to find a local source for Sprecher. I don't know if there is one, but I'd love to find one. Till then, I'm just going to have to count on the generosity of my fans to send me Sprecher. And gummies and so forth. These are cool. Those two are really cool. I did not know that they had both pirate and medieval Batmans. And the zombie pirate is very cool. Alright. Back to the table, I suppose. And now for the additional boodle. Somebody asked me what the knife is that I used to open. This was sent to me by CavtainXavierNerf. 3D printed knife with a husky replacement knife blade. That just comes out and you can replace it when it gets all worn out. And it's ridiculously cool, and I use it for opening stuff. So, we have here a thing from Aiden Scott Rookie, it looks like. Thing is lovely, but it's not a good letter opener, it turns out. There we go. Figured out the technique. Ah, no. Meow. Aha! Alright. What do we have? What? There's a note! Oh, boom. Dear Captain, sorry for the handwriting is atrocious, but I've never been the best writer. You should see mine. Mine is horrific. But I hope this reaches you in a good time. And I hope you have been able to survive the plague. And anyway, train! Amusingly, there is in fact a train approaching at this very minute. There it is. He called it. How? The man's a prognosticator. He's a witch. Burn him. There's the train. But anyway, I hope that the Force is with you and that you have not time, and I have more you a banner. I made you a banner. Anyway, I'm off. Bangerang. A banner. The man's made me a banner. Oh, look at oh, look at that. My logo, the auxiliary logo, Bangerang. Messed up. That is really cool. Viper. Oh yeah, that is going on the wall. That is super, super cool, sir. Yep. I believe this is Futhark, Elder Futhark for Bangerang. I'm not sure what this one is, but that's probably why he says messed up. That is super cool, sir. Yes, that will, I shall have to find a section of wall for that to go along with the other awesome, awesome stuff. Very, very cool. All right, what do we have? We've got some little stuff. I'm suspicious of this one. From 716 Candle Co. Did somebody send me a candle? Or did they just reuse a box? No, that is definitely 716. That's a buffalo. What? Candle Co. What? That smells fantastic. It's a Dr. Pepper candle. Authentic blend. I do like cinnamon. Oh. What? Why? Who? What? What is this about? Somebody explain yourself. Who? You. Yes, you. You know who you are. Explain yourself. I have no idea what's going on. I've been sent a delicious smelling candle. Did they not have root beer? Root beer I don't think would make a good candle. Dr. Pepper's basically cinnamon flavored, so, I mean, that smells delightful. Yeah. I demand explanations. That's weird. That's weird. Weird. It's weird, I tell you. It's weird. Alright, I'm curious what's going on over here. I have no idea what this is. Could be anything. That! Two. What? 10 Shadow Trooper. Somebody send me... Is this... Halt. Is this what you were sending me? You said it had arrived, and I was expecting a box that rattled, and there was no rattle. That is, in fact... Oh, man. They've actually got body armor. Alright, I gotta check that out. What do I have over here? I don't know. Where's that? There's 10 of them. Alright, I'm gonna open one of these. It's gotten kind of interesting with a lot of the knockoff stuff that exists for LEGO. There's an awful lot of knockoff stuff. Like I mentioned, Lepin has made LEGO sets, or sets that were never actually LEGO sets. They never got produced by LEGO. But like some of the ideas stuff they have built, and some of the like pirate sets and other stuff, they've done some where it's just straight rip-offs of stuff that actually exists, but then there's others that don't. So yeah, these stormtroopers, or dark troopers, shadow troopers, actually have a breastplate, torso armor. That gives them a lot more definition, makes them look a lot more mean. And as far as I know, that torso armor doesn't exist in LEGO. It might, and I just haven't noticed. And some of it's now, so their production quality's improved. It's not great. The hands are bad molding, and they don't hold stuff well. But a lot of the rest of it, you wouldn't be able to tell if you didn't know it wasn't LEGO. Others, it's real obvious. But those are really, really cool. What's in the other one? Come on. No, it's a different color. It's something else. It appears to be stormtroopers. No, yep, stormtroopers. Oh, they're also in armor though. So, are they just regular troopers but with better armor, or are they actually supposed to be something more? Hard to tell. I was trolling AliExpress. AliExpress has a lot of LEGO knockoff stuff. They carry all of the Lapse and stuff. Wish does as well, of course. That is pretty neat. Well, his hands are better. Interesting. Yeah. So fancy stormtroopers, but with actual torso, upper torso armor that just, again, gives it a little bit more definition, makes them have a little bit more detail. Very, very cool. Well done. Good design. The blaster is an odd choice, because I believe that, is that the Scout Trooper's pistol, or is it a different one? It's not an E11, so it's an odd choice, but I've got lots of those already, so now I've got a whole bunch of those. Alright, well, whoever's responsible for this, I suspect it was Halt, because he mentioned that happiness was coming my way. Those are really, really cool, and now I've got a lot more troops, army building. I've been doing a lot of army building, mostly with my castle, and I also did it with all my pirate, organized all of my pirate minis, and rearranged hats and bodies and got everyone all properly situated, and now I have large armies of stormtroopers that I can put on display when I get my Star Wars set up, which I'm waiting on shelving. When more shelving arrives, I will be able to get my Lego section in my Lego room. I've one of the gables. The one gable is my build setup, and then the other one's going to be all Star Wars. One side will be all the Rebels, the other side will be all of the Imperial. And there may be some stuff in the middle for like the really big stuff. We'll see. Like I said, space is becoming somewhat of an issue up there. Alright, moving on. We have something from Singapore, which I have a guess who it's from. But we will find out. Hopefully there's a note. There's never a note. There's a note. Dear Captain Xavier, I'm not sure when this package will reach you due to the ongoing pandemic. Hope you are staying safe. Enclosed is my latest kit at time of writing, a conversion kit for the Ultra 2. It will now hold 9 full-length darts and makes it pretty chunkster. It makes for a pretty chunkster hand cannon, which I love. Here are the instructions to use. He's got a link. Instructions are set for the most basic rewire, but still achieves a respectable FPS, about 95 FPS, on regular AA batteries on the stock motors. Feel free to perform a complete rewire LiPo mod if you wish. I hope you like it. I'm currently working on a short dart version. I will send you one your way when it's completed. Regardless, Gavin Fuzzy. Once again, Gavin Fuzzy sends me the coolest stuff. And the thing is, he and I have, as far as I know, we've never spoken. We've never chatted on Facebook or the internet. He's never sent me an email. He just up and sends me the coolest stuff at random sometimes. So we have the replacement kit with motor screw mounts, and I assume, oh look at that, a flywheel removal tool built into it? Sir, you spoil us. That is so cool. And then the cylinder. Aha! Oh, that is so... There's so much engineering that went into that cylinder, and his print quality, as always, absolutely top shelf print quality. I am so looking forward to installing that. I've got, I believe, a different version of this coming from somebody else as well. So I might get to compare and contrast the two. That is just smooth. How is this? I am always baffled by his print quality because there's never so much as a flaw. And maybe that's just because he sends me the best stuff, but I suspect he just does really, really good work. So beautiful. Thank you. As always, I will get this installed. I may have to go buy another Ultra 2. We shall see. You, sir, you're awesome, and you don't. Okay. The last package we have is a box of Maine, which I'm all kinds of dubious about. There's liquids in a can in here, and I am dubious. I'm dubious. Dubious. What do we have here? Box of Maine. Do I know these people? Box of Maine is a locally owned and operated family business. Growing up in Maine, we attended agricultural fairs, festivals, camped out in backwoods, and cooked red-hot dogs over campfires. Ate flutter-nutter sandwiches, picked fiddleheads, and he's just making up words. Bought fresh blueberry pies, roadside, hiked Maine's mountains, fished many rivers, and much more that makes Maine the way life should be. Our boxes make great gifts for loved ones, friends, and soldiers deployed overseas. Certain countries, we carry 80 Maine items from 40 Maine businesses ranging from rocky coast to the county. Taste your favorite foods from your childhood. Again, like Maine, wild Maine blueberry jam, pure Maine maple syrup, chocolate whoopie pies, red hot dogs, Humpty Dumpty barbecue chips, Moxie, and more. Will you join us in this journey to bring Maine to the rest of the world? Well, that's just fantastic. I have been sent Moxie. I have been sent 6 cans of Moxie. Distinctively different. What is Moxie? Caramel color. It's got caffeine. That's the good trait. Well, I shall definitely. You know what? I think they asked me to try this on camera, so I'ma do it. Hello, children. I'm about to try some Moxie from Maine. I am dubious, sir. It is distinctively different. I got nothing. I have no idea what it tastes like. It tastes like Moxie. Why, yes, children, this section was spliced in after the fact. I can do that. Editing is neat. New information was brought to light while I was in the process of editing this video, and I felt certain things needed to be redressed. First of all, I was finally able to pinpoint the flavor of the Moxie, and it's pretty cool. Also, I've discovered where the Moxie came from. It was sent to me by a fellow, I believe it's a fellow, might be a lady, I don't know. Someone by the name of Cam Moore, which is just an awesome sounding name. From Maine, at least I assume they're in Maine. I can't imagine why else they'd be sending me Maine stuff. It could all be a lie. I don't know the truth. Anyway, they sent it to me, and like I said, I was editing the video, and they pinged me. And one, let me know that they were the ones who had sent it to me, which was odd. It's just out of the blue. By the way, I sent you the Moxie. Aha! The truth comes out. Where was I? Oh, yes. It was here. They also let me know that they have started a Nerf community in their area called the New England Nerf community. Hopefully they'll send me a link. If they do, the link will be down in the description for any of you that are in that particular area, the northern New England, I assume. Again, I don't know the truth. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, so there's that. The other thing is, let's get to the flavor here. So, it tastes like root beer candy. They'd mentioned that they thought it was a richer root beer flavor, and I was kind of going, I don't know about that. Also, I wanted to try it cold and from a mug instead of lukewarm from a can, because they've been sitting in my car all day. But it tastes like root beer candies. And not like the root beer barrels, the hard, barrel candy. Faygo root beer tastes like that. That is the liquid version of that, if you ever really like the root beer barrel candy. Faygo root beer is the way to go for it. Now this is more like the gummy root beer bottles or the hard bottle cap flavored root beers. That is what this tastes like. And now that I've finally made that connection, it's absolutely delightful. Before it was just kind of this is weird, this isn't right, and I think my brain was going, this isn't supposed to be a liquid! And now you're like, oh no, that's actually a delightful flavor. There is also just a hint, just a slight aftertaste of what I think is aniseed, which is the flavor in dark licorice or like NyQuil in some mouthwashes. It's usually a very, very potent flavor, and that's why they put it in a lot of medicines, because it drowns out the horrifically bitter or whatever flavor of like what's in the mouthwash or NyQuil. So they will flavor it with aniseed because it is a very potent flavor, and there's just a hint of it that gives it just a little bit of a bite, a little bit more just variety in the flavor in it. I really like it. I always loved black jelly beans, and there's just the hint of it in there, and I'm liking it now. So yeah, if you get the chance to try some Moxie, I recommend it, but be prepared for it to be a little bit different. Now it's growing on me. I'm glad I got 6 cans of Moxie, because I'm gonna have to try some flavor pairings, see if it goes well with certain cheeses, or whether it goes well with chicken, or whether it goes well with beef. See what it flavors best with. That is delightful. So thank you, Cam. Definitely check out his Nerf group, especially if you're in that area. The Maryland folks are a little bit south from there, but relative to to where I'm from, not that far. The East Coast always seemed small to me. Around here, it's nothing to drive 12 hours to go to a big Nerf event, or 8 hours, or 4 hours. But I have no idea what it's like to drive from Maryland to Maine. I've never tried it. It's probably a really long drive. My geography. It's like south of New York. Never mind, don't listen to me. Maybe you could meet in the middle somewhere. Go to war in Pennsylvania. End war or something. Anyway, I hope to see a lot of you guys when End War finally does show up. It'd be really cool if I could meet Cam, or possibly while I'm in that area, then take a tour of some of the other Nerf clubs up in that area, take a week off or something, and not just go to End War, but then travel around New England while I'm in the area. Crash on floors and basements and couches and trees and tents and stuff. It'd be loads of fun. That was the plan for Europe, and then the plague. All right, this video is already ridiculously long, quite long enough. I highly recommend the Moxie. Back to where I was before I interrupted with this clip. Very cool. Thank you for the Moxie. And thank you for the stuff. You guys send me the coolest stuff. The McPhersons are rapidly going to the top of the list of awesome, awesome package senders, right up there with Sparky Santos and the Talesians and Jimmy Barr and all of you other amazing people who send me the coolest packages. I really enjoy the ones where you've just been like throwing stuff in a box for the last 6 months and then finally mail it to me. It's just full of stuff. Those are cool. Those ones are fun. Yeah. If you have a question that you would like asked, you put it in the comments of this video and then I will answer it in the next video. Keep in mind, my mother, the gnome, might be here for the next Q&A, so you might throw in a question for her. We'll see if I can actually get her to answer them on camera. That would be that would be interesting. I make no promises. No promises. We'll see. Alternatively, you can indeed write your question on a crisp $1 bill and mail it to my P.O. box, which is down in the description. Alright, I'm going to go edit this while drinking Moxie and probably play some video games or something. You people are amazing. Stay safe. And thank you for watching.